Hey everyone, it's Shar, and today I am going to make a $10 money bouquet and a butterfly. This is one of the smaller size bouquets that I have made so far, and I actually enjoyed it because it didn't take a long time. So I'll get 10 bills. 2 of those bills I'll actually use to make the butterfly, and you will see how I make the butterfly in this video. I'm not sure if it'll be easy to understand or not, but I do show me folding up the butterfly. As always, I count out my ones and then I count out my sticks. Because this was only 10 bills, I did not do my tape like I usually have those pieces ready. So I didn't do that this time. And then I'm just taping it as we go along. I do have videos where I tape, show you how to connect the ones with the sticks. But just in case, always find that middle part on your first bill. Use that as a landmark for the rest of the bills. And then put one piece of tape there to secure it. I used to do 3 when I first started, across, and then vertical there, and then a vertical piece on the back. But I've discovered that it's really not necessary, and if people are spending some of these bills, it's less tape that they have to take off. Although I've never had complaints about anything, and I have had people who continuously support me. So, they buy stuff and they buy it again. And that's not any feedback that I've ever received from them. So I'm gonna stop talking for a second and let you watch. And then when it gets to the butterfly part, I'll start talking again. Okay, now for the butterfly, you will need two ones. One I will fold long ways. That'll be like the upper part, and then the other part I will fold short ways. So that'll be the lower part. It's basically called an accordion fold. If you ever seen an accordion, they kind of have like those folds every other way, or like if you ever wore those pleated skirts, you kind of just alternate the direction that you fold it. You can make the lines as big or as small as you want. I made these folds a little bit bigger, just because I know that they can be like a size smaller, but with these nails on, that's about as good as I could get. So the only thing I will say here is after you make your folds, you are going to open it up, and then you're going to fold the corners in. That'll sort of give it that point, those pointy wings that, you know, they have on the corner, if you wanted to have that. Honestly, I don't think it has to have a point. You could probably do it without the point. Like you'll see when I do the bottom, I don't fold the bottom in, although you can fold the bottom in as well on the shorter one. But I didn't in this video. In the one I made for my cousin before, I did do the bottom part. So then, yeah, you'll fold those two corners in, and then you'll just fold it in the center, and that'll be your middle piece. It doesn't have to be perfect. I definitely went crooked a little bit, but you can't tell because it all comes together. Okay, now on this middle piece, I ain't even going to hold you. Well, the smaller piece, I like folded it up 18 times. I don't know what I was doing. So I kind of just stopped the confusion. But basically, if you fold your bill in half and then do that accordion fold till you get to the middle and then do the other side, that'll be the short wings that you use for the bottom. So I tried to just like spare everybody, but that's basically what you need to do to make the bottom part of the butterfly. Now, if you have those little gum bands that we used to use back in the day that, you know, could rip your hair out, or that you might use for the end of beads, you can put one of those little gum bands there, but I don't do all that. You can though, and it'll make it easier, you know, for you to put the butterflies together. I just use this sticky stuff because I like to have these little diamonds in the middle of mine. So that's what I'm going to use, this adhesive. But what you can do is you can open up this bottom part of your butterfly. It's like the last little flap. So it'll be folded one way. And then when you open up the bottom part of the little butterfly, you can hook it in. And you'll see in the video how it works together. But it'll kind of connect it. And then boom. So you see me right there opening that part, connecting it to that part. It's not a real connect piece, but put that in the middle, fasten it with a rubber band, with some adhesive, however you prefer, with some string, and it'll look beautiful, I'm telling you. Okay, now here comes the fun part where we are going to place the bills. This was a sunflower I bought in a bunch, so there were like 7 sunflowers. I took the leaves off because since I was only using 8 flowers, I was like 8 bills. I figured 2 bills in between each of the little leaves would give this, a full look. So I added those leaves there as opposed to just going around with the sunflower, which could have looked cute as well if I didn't make the butterflies with 2 bills. So I think that 10 of them could have definitely fit around the perimeter of this flower. And it could have just looked like, an extra row for the sunflower itself. So this was fairly easy when it came to the placement, just making sure I stuck the flower down deep enough. And then initially, I was going to try to pin the butterfly, the money butterfly, on there with some pins, flower pins. No, it did not work. When I pressed it down, it like literally pressed the flower down. So I had to fix that. So what I end up doing is getting glue dots, and that they hold like very well. So, like sort of when you get gift cards, what's on the bottom of the gift cards that make the gift card stick to the package. Yes, that's what I put on the bottom of this butterfly to make it stay. Next is time for the paper selection and wrapping. I have a few different colors that I was thinking about using. One was like a yellowish orangish color, but I was like, maybe I'll do like a brown color because it'll bring out the middle part. And then there was like a tannish color, but I ultimately decided to do the brown. And then I had just like a plain yellow with like the brownish color around the edge, but that really wasn't giving what I wanted it to give. So my question is, if this were you and you were making this bouquet with the sunflower, what kind of paper would you use? Would you use some of the paper I selected? Would you use a solid color? Would you use some other design? Would you go for something that matches the leaves, that matches the sunflowers, or that matches the middle? Or would you do something different? Would you, do something that might not even have to do with the color scheme? So I did use 4 sheets of paper for this total. 1 to wrap the can, 1 to wrap the bottom, and 2 for the little triangle pieces up top. Now, when I do have papers with design, I will cut the paper into 4s. I've just found that to be easier and make the design neater. As you can see, or if you remember the beginning video, I had alternated it where it was like you see some of the pattern, then it's solid color, pattern, solid color, pattern, solid color. I usually, when I have a pattern, just prefer to put all of the pattern there. And then that solid color would have been on the back. And because I was wrapping the bouquet with the paper as well, I could have just left it, all solids, because you would have still saw the design or the pattern because I wrapped it and did it in a pail. But you'll see when I set it in a pail, I do 2 different things. I show you what it looks like without it being wrapped, just stuck into the pail. And then I show you what I did to wrap it and stick it in a pail. Either way works. It just depends on your style preference. So I just use tape, and I usually use like my green stapler. This black stapler is just so much smaller, so it was throwing me off. But I usually will tape like the 4 big sides first, tape and staple, and then I'll go to like the 4 corners and tape that. You can use regular tape when you're taping this down. And when I connect the pieces, I like to staple, and I like to use the double-sided tape for that second row. But I will let you watch, and then if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Like I always read the comments, or try to read most of them, and I try to respond as well. And if you have any feedback, I'm always open to that, or any tips or tricks. But this by far has been the easiest method for me to do this. So I'm loving this, and I'm actually saving on paper. So I used to use 6 pieces. Now I use 4 or even 3 pieces, depending on the size and how I want to do it. thing I like about this is it kind of puts itself where it needs to be. Like the paper, once you tape the bottom, it kind of lines up so you know where to staple at and you know where to put the double-sided tape at. I just like it, and it's secure as long as whenever you do those first ones, you make sure that the height is where you want it to be. Sometimes if you make it too high, it can like overpower the flowers. I like it sticking up a lot. I could have did it a little lower, but you know. And the last piece fits perfectly right there. And I was tempted to staple those, like before I just put this piece on, to staple those other two pieces together, but then it sort of messes up like the overlap. So I didn't really want to do that, but I don't think it would have not messed up the overlap, but you know, like my thinking of it. So I just let it be, because I think I messed it up anyway, because technically that other piece should have been over that piece. But you know, as long as it looks good. So remember, staples can be taken out, as you've seen, because I accidentally had stapled that one to the paper. It's just be careful whenever you're getting it off. But always check your design, and if you don't like it, just fix it before you move to the next step. Here, I just literally stuffed the paper into the can. Now, because remember how I was saying I rotated it? Because I have this Christian Dior on the outside instead of just brown paper, technically, and you'll see I can just put this in right here and it'll be super cute. It'll be the vase, it'll be the designer paper, and it'll be a look, But what I usually do is I put another layer around that bottom piece just in case they didn't want it in a vase, or say they wanted to take it out, so that would be used as a holder. And then you could tie a ribbon around it, so if they really wanted to hold it like a bouquet. But the way that this vase works, you could hold it like a bouquet as well. So it's really just, the preference or what you want to do. But I am making these for like a back to school giveaway, and they are going to be like little prizes. So no one was really particular, but I'm going to add this extra paper so you can see the look with the paper. But it looks great without it, and then you can add the paper as well. And it looks great too, more full. And there you have it, my $10 money bouquet. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you like what I do, please take a moment to subscribe. Let me know any questions, and see you later. Until next time.